the story before.
Gotta turn your mic on.
Okay.
Yeah, what's up?
No, sorry, I'm talking to Fallon about the stage directions. But can you hear me? Just on the story before I have to switch, can you just like start motioning?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So you're starting on 3.
Yeah.
And then the next time you switch will be
It'll be like all the way down on like the Trump story. What's the story before that?
the Democrat debate recap.
Okay. Is that part of the ICYMI?
That is,
Or is it just like its own thing?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's its own thing. Wait. Mike is.
Alright guys, sorry we're running a little bit late today, but we're gonna get going right now and get this started.
Pause.
Wait, Chris is
Wait. Okay. Yeah. Can you just look at this? For the shot.
we talk again?
Yeah. Hey guys, welcome back to Real Talk.
You're good.
You're good. Alright, here we go. Coming up from Black on the Open.
Hey guys, welcome back to Real Talk, the show that gets real about politics for millennials. I'm your host, Kristen Limbaugh. There have been a lot of developments in the 2016 race since we saw you before break. The speculation is over. Vice President Joe Biden will not run for president. Biden had been torn about a run, apparently still mourning the death of his son, Beau. In a speech at the Rose Garden with his wife and President Obama at his side, Biden said his window of opportunity is closed.
But while I will not be a candidate, I will not be silent. I intend to speak out clearly and forcefully to influence as much as I can where we stand as a party and where we need to go as a nation. And this is what I believe.
You can almost hear Hillary Clinton's relief from here. Phew! She tweeted that Biden is a good friend and a great man, today and always inspired by his optimism and commitment to change the world for the better. And Republican frontrunner Donald Trump always seems to find a way to start a Twitter brawl. His tweet: I think Joe Biden made correct decision for him and his family. Personally, I would rather run against Hillary because her record is so bad. And more interesting news for the candidates on the Democratic side. Hillary Clinton will testify before the House Select Committee on Benghazi this week. The hearing is set to hear about the former Secretary of State's choices in the days and weeks before the attacks in Benghazi, Libya 3 years ago. The terrorist attack on the U.S. consulate in Benghazi killed 4 Americans. Since the attack, Republicans have questioned whether Clinton withheld information that could have helped save those Americans. Many Democrats say it's a witch hunt.
Read the top
Okay.
of the Hillary story.
Okay. And more interesting news for the candidates on the Democratic side. Hillary Clinton will testify before the House Select Committee on Benghazi this week. The hearing is set to hear about the former Secretary of State's choices in the days and weeks before the attacks in Benghazi, Libya 3 years ago. The terrorist attack on the U.S. consulate in Benghazi killed 4 Americans. Since the attack, Republicans have questioned whether Hillary withheld information that could have helped save those Americans. Many Democrats say it's a witch hunt. And we've been gone a while, so here's the highlights. ICYMI style, in case you missed it. The Speaker of the House seat is still up for grabs. Representative Kevin McCarthy shocked the political world when he abruptly decided to drop out of the race for Speaker 2 weeks ago. McCarthy's surprise exit has thrown the GOP into complete chaos. Now, the Republicans are looking to Wisconsin Congressman Paul Ryan to be their Speaker's savior. For weeks, Ryan has insisted that he would not run for Speaker, but it looks like he might be changing his mind.
I laid out for our conference what I think it takes to unify this conference, what I think it takes to have a successful speakership, and it's in their hands. And I'll leave it up to my colleagues to decide if I am that unifying person.
Most Texas lawmakers say they'll support Ryan's bid, but House conservatives are still iffy on the idea. Here's what's new. Outgoing Speaker John Boehner has set a date for the Speaker election. That date, October 28th. And the next Democratic presidential debate is a couple of weeks away on November 14th. The first one happened 2 weeks ago. Missed it? Don't worry, we have the recap for you. Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders were center stage, surrounded by 3 other Democratic contenders. Yes, there are actually 5 candidates. Martin O'Malley, Lincoln Chafee, and Jim Webb were also on the stage. It was no surprise that Clinton and Sanders dominated the debate. The biggest crowd-pleasing comment of the night went to Sanders. He defended Clinton and her email scandal. Wait, what? Take a listen.
Let me say something that may not be great politics, but I think the Secretary is right. And that is that the American people are sick and tired of hearing about your damn emails.
Thank you.
Chafee, on the other hand, attacked Clinton, saying her credibility is an issue. Clinton had the chance to respond, and, well, it was a short one.
Secretary Clinton, do you want to respond?
No.
Governor.
Clinton said she is sick of the GOP trying to take down Planned Parenthood. Sanders is struggling with engaging minority voters. When asked if Black Lives Matter or All Lives Matter, Sanders was quick to respond, saying Black Lives Matter. His response is different from the GOP contenders who are taking the All Lives Matters approach. Those are the highlights from the first Democratic debate. To see more, find us on Twitter at RealTalk_2016. We've tweeted out the links that will show you more highlights from the debate. Here's something that will surprise you. Donald Trump is in attack mode once again. I hope you got the sarcasm. This time around, Trump's taking on George W. Bush on the subject of 9/11. And little brother Jeb doesn't like it one bit. The issue? Trump is suggesting that George W. Bush could have done more as president to prevent the September 11th terror attacks. Trump says if he were president, he could have stopped the 9/11 attack hijackers from getting into the country in the first place. Jeb defended his brother, tweeting, "How pathetic for @RealDonaldTrump to criticize the president for 9/11. We were attacked and my brother kept us safe." Jeb's campaign is now asking for donations. An email says, quote, "Donate $5 and fight back against Donald Trump." Earlier today, I spoke with 2 millennials about their thoughts on college tuition. Take a listen.
Now to our candidate profiles. This week we focus on a couple of Republican candidates
we better get to before they become also.
Yeah, there's.
Yeah. We're gonna do the Tosta profiles.
Yeah,
On camera 3.
yeah. Now to our candidate profiles. This week, we focus on a couple of Republican candidates we better get to before they become also-rans. We turn to media and politics student Sophia Arazosa on Chris Christie and Rand Paul.
New Jersey Governor Chris Christie sits in the bottom half of almost all presidential polls. He was once thought to be a possible frontrunner, but that Bridgegate scandal in 2013 not only shut lanes, it blocked enthusiasm for his run. Christie got his undergraduate degree at the University of Delaware and his law degree at Seton Hall University. He was U.S. Attorney in New Jersey before he became governor. He believes in lowering taxes in order to spur economic growth. On foreign policy, he calls for a stronger military and a commitment to stand up to adversaries. His own party thinks some of his politic stances are too moderate. On immigration, he believes there should be stricter employment regulations instead of adding border security. Will he make the next big debate? Candidates must have 2.5% support in national polls to make it into the primetime field. He'll be close. And then there's Rand Paul. Kentucky Senator Rand Paul, son of former Congressman Ron Paul of Texas, is making little headway in the polls for the Republican nomination. But despite his weak numbers, Paul, who is referred to as a neo-libertarian, says he isn't going away. Born in Pittsburgh, Paul got his undergrad degree at Baylor University. He went on to become an ophthalmologist after attending Duke University Medical School, his father's alma mater. Paul's libertarian views are favored by those who desire less government control. Although he serves in the U.S. Senate, his slogan is, "Defeat the Washington machine, unleash the American dream." The 52-year-old is passionate about balancing the budget. He wants to enforce one of the most aggressive spending cuts in Congress. Paul doesn't want America to get involved in other countries' foreign policies. And he questions why the U.S. is still in Afghanistan. On immigration, he does not support the DREAM Act. He wants to secure the border and he'd create a legal immigration process. Win or lose, the neo-libertarian hopes to change the way people see government. Those are your candidate profiles for the week. Now, back to Kristen for a peek at the polls.
Gun control. We're hearing a lot about it after the most recent campus shootings. A lot of people have politicized the issue. Some saying that we need stricter gun laws, others saying that the restrictions are exactly what led to the deaths in these attacks. Jackie Francis.
Stop. The poll numbers aren't there.
We wrote it. Did we not update it before the prompter?
She was in the training rundown, so that's probably what it was.
Okay.
She'll just have you start reading it from the top, because they already did the bump.
Okay. Got it. Just want me to read, like now.
They're going to redo the poll bump.
Okay, got it. Got it, okay. Surprise, surprise, Trump is still on top of the polls. Trump is leading the race with 26%. He is being closely followed by Dr. Ben Carson, who is 21%. Rubio is coming in third with a mere 9%. On the Democratic side, Hillary Clinton has a clear lead with 47%. Sanders is following with 25%, and although Biden confirmed he will not be entering the race, he is still third in the polls with 17%. Gun control. We're hearing a lot about it after the most recent campus shootings. A lot of people have politicized the issue. Some saying that we need stricter gun laws, others saying that restrictions are exactly what led to the deaths in these attacks. Jackie Francis is with us to give you more on the real facts about the issue.
Welcome to On the Real. I'm Jacqueline Francis. Umpqua Community College, 10 dead. Northern Arizona University, 1 dead, 3 injured. Suicides using guns, other gun violence, tally them, 52 incidents this year alone, many of them at colleges and universities. Think SMU students aren't worried? Think again.
I support stricter gun laws. A lot of people have backgrounds of mental health issues or alcohol abuse, which could lead to problems if they owned a gun.
I think we need stricter gun laws. I think there are a lot of people who have some issues who should not be able to have access to guns.
I support stricter gun laws. I just think that there's a lot of shootings going on at different campuses and different public places, so obviously something needs to change.
I support stricter gun laws just because of all the mass shootings that have happened. I feel like there should be more laws on gun control and everything. I feel like it should be a lot stricter because it's getting out of hand.
I'd say I oppose stricter gun laws in terms of allowing for self-defense. So in terms of demilitarizing local police stations and individual citizens, I think you should have the right to your own protection. So I don't want weapons to be in the hands of people who aren't healthy enough to be using those.
I believe that guns have to be held by someone who actually can control a gun or know how to use it. I think that it's too late to ban guns and whatever because everyone has them now.
It's not the people who have the licenses for guns that I'm concerned about. It is the people who are going to carry them anyway. I work here on campus. I've seen so many stories about people bringing guns to campus and needless tragedies because people had access to guns. And in retrospect, many of those people were licensed to have them, and they said, oh, maybe we shouldn't have given them guns.
I've never been given a reason not to feel safe on campus.
Yeah, I feel pretty safe at SMU. I feel like there's a lot of police around, and I don't worry about people carrying guns around campus ever.
So, is the answer more regulation, or is it pouring money into programs for the mentally ill? Each candidate has a take. Most Republicans are against gun control. Conservatives believe it is a constitutional right to protect ourselves. Yep, they're pro-Second Amendment. The Democratic Party strongly supports gun control and sees limiting America's access to guns as the key to preventing these shootings. In the case of Umpqua and nearly all school shootings, the campuses are gun-free. A new idea that has been heavily debated in the media and by politicians is whether school officials should be armed. Universities are now debating whether campuses should remain gun-free or should concealed carry be allowed on campus. For public universities, this is a state decision, but private schools can make that decision for themselves. And one thing is for sure, no nationwide changes are expected until the newly elected president takes office in 2017. And this has presidential candidates talking. Republican candidate Jeb Bush strongly opposes stricter gun laws. He even received an A+ rating from the National Rifle Association. And yes, the NRA really does grade politicians based on their gun control stance. Texas Senator and Republican candidate Ted Cruz is also a star pupil of the NRA, earning another perfect A. GOP candidate Ben Carson introduces a different solution to these shootings. The retired neurosurgeon views the attacks as a public health problem. He supports a government-funded research program on gun violence. And it's no surprise the Democratic candidate spoke passionately at the Democratic debate on the need for gun control reforms. So, on the real, gun violence is killing millennials every day, and these mass attacks are happening on our college campuses. But would you feel more or less safe knowing the person sitting next to you in class had a concealed weapon on them. Food for thought. Kristen, back to you.
Thanks, Jackie. Bernie Sanders has been popular among voters throughout his campaign, but now he's taken down the age gap entirely. Hashtag Babies for Bernie is the hottest meme on Instagram after one user photoshopped Sanders' signature hair and glasses onto a baby. The meme gained so much popularity that it spawned a website, www.babiesforbernie2016.com. The site sells onesies as well as t-shirts featuring a drawing of a baby dressed as Sanders, with Babies for Bernie in large print. Underneath, all the proceeds from the site go directly to the senator's campaign. It looks like even the babies are feeling the burn. And it's that time again. Get out your phones and follow us on Twitter at @RealTalk_2016. We would love to hear from you, so please tweet at us. And that's all we have for you guys. Be sure to join us next time for your latest Real Talk. Goodbye.